For about 2 weeks, Nigerians have been demonstrating against police brutality. It was very peaceful, very quiet, very organized, no problems. Then somehow immediately something happened and violence was introduced into the demonstrations. Then on the 20th of October, 2020, soldiers moved to Lekki toll gate, where a lot of Nigerians were gathered protesting against police brutality. We are here to discuss about what happened on that day because it has been very, very controversial. Amnesty International said 12 people died on that night, 10 at Lekki toll gate, 2 at Alausa. The army initially denied that the soldiers were not there. Eventually, they admitted that soldiers were there, but that they did not shoot anyone. There was also controversy about who invited the soldiers and what really happened. Tonight, we have 5 people on our panel. However, we have invited a lot of people, even though their names are not on this panel, but they still have very, very important contributions to make because we are here to find the truth. So it's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Gbolahan, Bakare, spokesman for vendors for positive change. We are going to hear from Alwan Hassan, a politician and public policy analyst. We are going to hear from Paul Ikechukwu, Njoku, an activist, who said he's an eyewitness, that he was there at Lekki toll gate when everything happened. Allie Johnson is also here. They have been providing evidence on a lot of forums stating what happened. Eluchie is a lawyer and human rights activist. We have mentioned Yushau, Shuaib, a journalist and publisher who has carried out in-depth investigations and provided a report of his findings, which was published in a lot of media. In fact, I just read one today from The Nation Online, quoting extensively from Shuaib investigatory reports. So, Alwan is here. Mr. Alwan.
Yes, Ogadan.
Yeah, I'm not Oga. Let's start from you. What do you think happened on October 20 at Lekki toll gate?
Ogadan, thank you for having me. I listened to everybody that has spoken on the events that happened on the 20th at Lekki toll gate. And I still cannot find one genuine evidence that someone died. And another thing is, if someone has died on that protest toll, how comes we have not seen pictures of dead bodies? How comes none of his family members are speaking? Yes, there were casualties. People were shot. Yes, I understand and I believe, because I've seen people shot and on the spot, and they were taking pictures and pictures were sent out. But death is what I still have an issue with. One. Another thing is, this protest started as a peaceful protest. Day 2. We all supported it across party affiliation. If you're a Nigerian and you go through there, the 5 demands, there is no way as a Nigerian you will not support their demands. Luckily for us and for the government itself, it swiftly took action and said it has banned SARS. And every protester that was arrested was released, from Lagos to Abuja and every other part of the country. Then other 3 demands, I think the police reform, that's their salary, which is a policy issue, and it cannot be done overnight. So it has to take a little while. And the IG now called one of the artists, the musicians, and one other person that were in the group to come and join the committee that was constituted, that will work for 6 months and bring out the modalities of police reform. That was just okay. The moment I started hearing people are smoking Indian hemp and selling Indian hemp and drinking alcohol on the protest ground, I knew there was going to be a problem, Ogada. They themselves that were on the protest ground were reporting on social media that some hoodlums around, some people in the protest were selling Indian hemp, and please, they should stop. That is not what they came out for. Second issue that made me understood there was going to be a problem was when they started saying Buhari must go. When they started saying Buhari must go, I knew that has to do with a regime change in a democracy. And there are institutions saddled with the responsibility of protecting the regime. And I see no reason why they would not act. And in acting, there must be casualties. That is my take on that day. Of course, they were there. They shot. Some were injured, taken to the hospital. Channels was reporting from that moment up to, I think, early mornings of the next day. We haven't seen any picture. Nobody has shown anything that someone has died on that spot. So I think as Nigerians, let's be patriotic first.
Yushau Shuaib is a journalist and investigator and the publisher. Yushau, what do you think? Please brief us on your findings with regards to the events of October 20. Can you unmute yourself?
Very much. Actually, PR Nigeria, we cover all the sectors, mostly the security service, intelligence, and rescue agencies, and I work in NEMA. And when we first got wind about the issue of massacre, we have to look at that term, massacre, for a definition. Massacre is not about killing a one person or two. We're talking about a large number of people. When we first got the information, we tried to verify whether there's anything like that. Some of the information we got, especially the videos and the photos, which we subject to reverse image technology, we realized that they are mostly either manipulated or doctored. And some of the images were actually images from other unrelated events. And when you look at that, our first report, the one we did, which we titled Lekki Massacre, 48 hours after, dead bodies still remain invisible. In that one, you will see that many of the people that were claimed to have been killed during the massacre later came out to say that, look, they are alive. In fact, one of them, like this Nelu star, Eniola Badmos, she came out to say, look, I'm alive. And then secondly, there's this young man, his name is Irayo Godwin, a native of Auchi. He too, they claimed that he was there. He also came and showed the video that he was alive. There's another guy, his name is Antonio Ikechukwu. I think that one died in road accident. And there's even one woman who kept in London claiming that he was her son. She's in poster. There are many people claiming some of those story, claiming that they know some people that died. Most of the people that were reported death from the incident have come out to deny the death. So now, another thing we try to do is that we look at some of the images they sent to us. Look at some of the images. All of them have been debunked, not only by local fact checker like Dubawa, even AFP has come out to debunk some of these images that they are not from the Lekki. So where are these people coming from? The massacre. These are the right. There's no single image today, bullet reading image of any victim of Lekki massacre. We have seen a little report, and most of the, in fairness to some of our colleagues in the media and civil society, yes, we are concerned about this nation. We believe that the security service should be held accountable when they misbehave. But the fact, must we tell lie? Let us be sincere with ourselves. What is the claim they provide is that eyewitness account. What does it mean? Even you as a reporter, anybody there can say, okay, Mr. Ibrahim or John, please just give me an idea about what happened today. Anybody can say anything. Can't you subject the same information you have to further investigation, to further verification, to further authentication before you publish? Anybody can claim anything. Concern. And that's what we report. Like I'm saying, up to this moment, yes, there's another report that came out today about, well, I don't want to talk so much about it, that one of the reporters was claiming that there's some eyewitness who confirmed to a media that there was a dead body, a corpse in Lagoon. I say, which Lagoon? Lagos? When I know on a daily basis, these people are just dropping dead body in that place, and then you start to say that you are doing an investigation about that body, and yet there's not any forensic investigation on that body to confirm whether it was the victim was killed in Lekki. So what we observe from, that's why I wrote that article I did, that most of this, actually, I'm sorry to say it, with all due respect to my colleague, it's fake news. There's no thing. Look at even the drama that happened yesterday. When the panel paid unscheduled visit to the military. Imagine what happened that time with some of our colleagues who went with their smartphone. The moment the soldiers say, no, don't go in, before you say Jack Robinson, already they are tweeting all over, sharing the message, claiming what? Claiming that the military were preventing the panel from inspecting the morgue in that place. But luckily enough, within 10 minutes, they allowed them. And what did they see? Nothing. But all the media that reported it, instead of coming out and say to apologize to their reader for misleading them, they didn't say anything. The question I came on is, what do you want to achieve by this? That's the question. Up to now, think, which air witness, how can you believe in air witness without subjecting the information to further investigation and verification, authentication before publication? This has only been our concern.
All right.
Well, like I said earlier, look at some of the major fact checkers. There are a lot of them coming up, even on Twitter. All of them are debunking all these video and images. As a Nigerian, I'm deeply concerned about how even credible institutions and bodies are propagating some of these very, very unfortunate spreading of disinformation in the national polity. It's very sad, honestly, to be sincere with you. This from our investigation, like I said earlier in one of our reports, so the images, the footage we received is almost about 100, and all of them actually they are not related to the incident that happened in Lekki.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eluchie. Please, are you can you unmute yourself, Mr. Eluchie, please?
People are saying the number of people who were killed whatsoever. The reality is that, was there an intent to massacre? Was there an intent for mass killing? When soldiers get deployed to an event or to an environment where you have unarmed civilians, protesters, and they open fire, they begin to shoot, whether they shoot into the air. And we know that this is a mob, this is a crowd that can always move in different ways. That since there is a staccato of bullets flying overhead, the movements cannot be predicted. But there was intent. The soldiers were deployed from Bonikam, and they moved all the way down to the Lekki Toll Plaza, and they opened fire. They started shooting at the crowd. Let us not mistake a massacre. Massacre, yes, is a large number of human beings. But when you go down history lane, and if you Google, just a simple Google check on what other massacres have taken place, you see that some massacres just featured 5 killings, 10, 7. I mean, some of them for you. Like there is a Sharif massacre in 2005 in Israel, only 4 people were killed. There is the Haditha massacre in Iraq, where US Marines killed 24 people. There is also the Mahmoud massacre, also in Iraq, where a family of 6 was slaughtered, and then one of the children was also raped and killed. Then there's the Capitol Hill massacre in the US in 2006, which featured the killing of only 6 people. And also there is the Kagama incident massacre in Waziristan, Pakistan, which featured the killing of 13 people. Now, maybe we are expecting an avalanche of corpses, deaths everywhere, for maybe 100, 200, for us to call it a massacre. No, I've just given you examples where 5 people were killed and they are labeled massacres. Was there an intention to kill en masse? And if soldiers are shooting at a venue where unarmed civilians are, there was certainly an intent to commit a massacre. Now, was there killings of human beings? Because when you are saying only 3, 4, 5, I've already given you instances where that number of people were considered massacre and have been accepted at the global level as meaning massacres. So whether you like it or not, there were massacres. Now, those who say, where are the bodies, where is the blood? Now, if you go, when the military struck at Aba, this hit some IPOB members, the corpses were carted away. And then sometime about a few weeks later, some corpses were seen that acid had been poured on those corpses. They had been intent to disintegrate, for the bodies to be annihilated. So, I mean, corpses are not seen there. When from the live video reports, we see people falling, we see the gunshots, we see the bullets flying. Those things were real bullets, my dear brothers and sisters. And they were not, the bullets were not shot to wish people happy evening. They had an intent to kill, so that you don't see the dead bodies, you don't see the blood. If they came, the live reports we heard, and channels was there covering it live, was that they prevented an ambulance rescuers from taking away someone injured. And then there was a mob operation soon thereafter. Now, if we have a security in the outfits that have a history, a track record of evacuating corpses, of cleaning up the environment, there is that pattern. And in this case, I've already said, so definitely, one of the guilty suspects in this whole process, the Lagos state government, is now the party secretary. And not even the so-called youths who went to participate in that crap, shoddy affair. It's not going to lead anything, because the Lagos state governor himself, the Lagos state government, from what we're now hearing, invited the military. So he's not in any position whatsoever to empanel a committee that will look into this matter. That is why some of us are calling for an international panel of inquiry into this event. And then maybe the facts will not unveil itself. Now, those who are saying, where are the mothers, where are the fathers of the relatives of these people? We know we have a problem of data. We have a problem of IDs, identities in Nigeria. When there is a zoo rivers, a zoo corpses, we are seen floating on the zoo river, over 30 corpses. They were seen, the pictures were there. How many parents, how many families have you seen come up to look for their dead bodies? But we have a problem of ID management. We have a problem of data. Of my family wouldn't know what happened. So that is it. And then
so we can take questions. Let's start with Marcel, please. If you can unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you so much, Dan and the team. I just wanted to have like a chat with Shuaib. Is he still online? Can he respond that he's still online?
Yes, Shuaib is still here.
I can't hear him. I just wanted to get a little bit of insight in his investigation. Okay. Can you just let him come online, please?
Yeah, I'm online.
Okay, is it okay if you can come up with your video so that I like seeing face? Don't mind me.
Please go ahead. I'm having a challenge here with my video. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to ask. You said you made your investigation, right?
Yes, please.
Can you guide me? How did you make the investigation? What and where did you go? And what material evidence did you put into consideration when making your investigation?
Well, I'm surprised you're asking about why somebody has to go to verify information.
No, I just see you said you made an investigation. I just wanted to get an insight because you are making a statement of fact. You said you didn't see any death. So you made an investigation. So I wanted to understand, can you guide me? What is the methodology of your investigation? What did you look at to arrive at your conclusion?
Hello?
I can hear you.
Like I said earlier, we asked for evidences.
Who did you ask?
For our platform.
Who directly? Did you write anybody?
Let's say when you talk about video, there's a lot of video that were shared.
See, please.
Ask me.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's do it this way.
Okay.
You ask your question and you respond.
You are asking about investigation. Okay. When you get the video, now you can send the video to share any video.
Who gave you the video?
Wait.
Let's take it. Just allow him to respond, then you can ask again.
If you send me a video now, when you send the video or an image, the best bet of checking whether that video or photo is authentic is to use the reverse image tools. Through the reverse image tools, it will indicate what? Whether that video or photo is new, whether it was taken somewhere else and used, like most of the videos that were shown about some military guys who were shooting at Lekki, it was for Northeast. You it's just like asking
Shuaib,
AFP. AFP also report.
Dan.
Let him finish.
Fact checking, you determine it by using the ICC technology.
I understand fact checking. I'm a technology person. Do you understand? I'm a technology person, so I understand fact checking. And you can only fact check an image, not a video. The only thing you can do to a video is that you can look at the timestamp. You can look at the metadata of a video to look at the timestamp when it was chosen. So I'm interested. I'm actually interested. If I show you a video now, I'm sure probably it's one of the videos. Can you hold on? Let me finish.
Let me step in here. Marcel, Shuaib, let me just say something here. I think the best thing to do is you ask a question.
Okay.
You allow him to answer. Then you can now ask a follow-up question because there are other people who will also ask questions. Or you may choose to make a presentation. Just state.
No, Dan, I don't know if you can give me rights to share. If you can give me rights,
you can use the video, get the screen grab of the video, and do the reverse.
It's an image.
Let's not be replying. Let's not be in form of argument. It's better to ask a question.
Okay.
And allow him to answer. Then
so my first question is,
yes,
who gave you the video? What's the source?
Oh my God. Don't forget I'm a journalist. I have a platform, PR Nigeria. On daily basis, I receive nothing less dozens of releases, photos for our publication. When you go to our website, you see why we ask that anybody that have any evidence, they can send it to us, and they send it to us, and we use it. And we probably have false report.
Good.
And then, like I said earlier, look at it. What can you say about other people that in some of the report they claim that they were killed, like Enola Badmos? She denied. What can you say about the other? What can you say about a photo of a man carrying a dead lady wrapped in Nigerian flag and photo by Yemi Alade, which also was denied? What can you say about the other guy, Irola Godwin, a native or Auchi, Edo State, who was also reported killed? He came to deny it. What are you talking about? All the other people
thank you. No, wait. Thank you. I get you. So let me understand your methodology. You went to the internet based on the videos people are showing. You picked some sample video, then you ran your so-called reverse imaging on it, which I know can only be done on a still image, not on a video. You ran a reverse image, and that's why it's called a reverse imaging on it, and then you are able to prove it is fake. That was what you did, right?
I'm not the only one that did that. Later,
no, I am talking about you now. I'm not bringing at anybody.
Another thing he said.
Fact checkers do the same. Not only PR Nigeria, we are the first people to do it, and the AFP did the same, and Dubawa, one of the respected fact checking sites in Nigeria, do the same. What are you talking about?
See, do you know why I am interested? Do you know why I am interested in your methodology? I am a research analyst. I am a technology person. Can you let me finish?
Okay, let's wait.
Can you let me finish?
Otherwise, you cannot make any.
Can you let me finish? Can you let me finish? Please, Dan, just one more.
Okay, yes.
Did you visit the military barracks? Did you do a scan of the environment to find out if there are fresh graves? And what technology did you use to do your scanning?
In fact, well, to me, I'm very surprised at this age of technology asking me to move, to leave Abuja and be in Lagos to go to get information. For goodness sake, I can be here and get all the information that happened in Lagos, even in the so-called the mortuary in the military hospital.
You didn't answer my question. My question is, information we have was that there's a military barrack that the military were deployed from. And the information we heard from people on ground was that, and which makes sense, because if you are in such kind of environment and the military is shooting, the natural thing you would do is to take cover. So if anybody is shot dead, the person will most likely be lying on the floor there. And I saw a video of
my brother, let me hold on, my brother.
Hold on. Can I finish? So I am asking you before you could come out. Before you will come out and say there was no death or nobody died, I'm asking you, did you do any scan? Sit from anywhere. Did you do any scan? Even a simple Google Geo scan or whatever? Did you do any scan to find out if there are any fresh grave? Did you visit the military morgue? Did you go with a pathologist? Did you do anything? So no, you were the one making investigation. You wanted to find out whether people died or not, and then you came out to say that nobody died.
Marcel, 1 second, Shuaib, 1 second.
It's disappointing
because we want to make headway. We have from what happened, we understand Shuaib's methodology to be that
Mr. Daniel,
nothing. He didn't do anything.
No, wait.
Daniel, let me just point out this one.
Yes.
In 5 years ago, something like this happened in Zaria. Let's take it. I'm in the forefront about talking about Shiite massacre. 5 years ago, something like that happened. When it was happening, I'm not in Nigeria, I'm in Dubai. All the reports that the media were using, I'm the one sending it to them. If you don't know, you can Google it, Shiite massacre. Now back to that issue. When that incident happened in Zaria, in less than 24 hours, we're able to see photos, video of that incident, Zaria. That time was not as sophisticated as you are today. We're talking about today when many Nigerians have what? Highly sophisticated smartphone. And then for more than 48 hours, people were there, they stood there, but yet they cannot provide a single picture of bullet reading. In that year, 5 years ago, within 5 hours, we're able to see the video and photo. What are you thinking about?
How many people was killed in Zaria? How many people was killed in Zaria? Shuaib, how many people was killed in Zaria? Can you answer me?
Okay.
No, Dan, please let him tell me how many people was killed in Zaria.
Do you know what you do in that one? Just a simple thing you do.
I'm asking you a simple question. You said you made your technology, you did the research, you got information. So simple question, how many people was killed?
Officially, more than 300 people were killed.
Officially, from you?
You are not serious.
From who?
Okay, let's
the Kaduna state government that ran inquiry was talking about 300 and something.
I think.
See, Shuaib, my own advice to you is this: when you don't have your fact right, when you think you have done one shabby, when you think you have done one shabby investigation, shut it down. It doesn't hold water. It's bullshit.
Marcel, Shuaib, let's allow.
I'm sorry.
I think.
What do you want to achieve by spreading fake news?
No, just shut it down. Then Daniel, sorry. My last comment, please. My last comment, please. I am taking on Alwan. Alwan said that the people, that Nigerians cannot protest and ask Buhari to go.
Let's not take.
Alwan is a senior person, and I'm telling him that the power resides with the people, and the people can wake up anytime to tell any president to go. The power resides with them.
No, there are a lot of issues to discuss. So let's not.
I'm sorry.
No, don't say your last word now. We'll get to those points towards the end of the conversation. Right now, we are still at the investigative stage. The point we are concentrated on now is what really happened at Lekki Toll Gate on October 20. Yes, we can discuss other things surrounding it. Once we get this fact established, then we can now move to that thing. Okay, Maazị, can you please unmute yourself? Can any of the co-hosts help me to unmute him, please, if I cannot find him on time? Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
So thank you, everyone. You know, it is quite interesting listening to everyone, and I can see emotions running high. Now, let me come back to the issue of what happened. I take on first with what Mazi Eluchie said. He said, when you go back to the semantics of definition, what actually happened? How do you define massacre? Massacre, to so many of us, what I can hear from this meeting, some of us consider massacre when you kill 200 people, like when we talk about the Kaduna massacre, okay? But people, like in genocide, the determining factor in massacre is the intent. If I come in where I have 300 people, I shoot in the crowd, 2 people died. That's massacre because it could have been 300. But in this case, 2 people died. Now, for not sounding a little bit unwary, let's maybe remove the word massacre if that upsets some of you. Let's say Lekki shooting, then we are all on the same page. Now, if I come back to my good friend Shuaib said he used in what we call in research methodology, secondary sources. So he wasn't there, the videos weren't his. So every one of us here, I understand the technology he talks about. At least I have about 4 different apps used for both on the desktop and on the mobile phone, used for reverse imagery. Or in videos, you can take screenshots and you do the reverse imagery, right? That's fine. But remember, you can only find something on reverse imagery if someone has published that particular screenshot. If someone hasn't published any screenshot, you're not going to find anything. That is, remember there was a time about 4 months ago, someone was raped. That happened in November 18th in Zimbabwe. But suddenly many of us woke up and said, oh, these were headsmen raping people in Ebonyi State. What I quickly did was a very despicable video, but I had to get myself because I needed to get to something. I took some screenshots, I did reverse imagery. And I found out that that was in Zimbabwe. How did that happen? Because someone, a reporter, has, in order to write that story, had made screenshots. So what the system does, it matches the pictures. So when it matches the pictures, it shows you the article. Then you can go back to that. So you can reverse. That's why it's called reverse image research. That means it goes back, it works, that's backward integration. Now, on this issue of Lekki massacre, can we please do something here, people? I think we will be doing a disservice to those who have lost someone to say that no one died. It's actually an insult to anyone that have lost someone. It's an insult to our collective sensibility. Now, why would any one of us here in this meeting say no one died? Show me the person who died. Whereas the person who called the military to come in and help him has agreed that 2 people died. Remember, the starting point was nobody died. I didn't know who were involved, but I think the military were involved. Suddenly, okay, now I know, yes, the military came up. Now, if we go to Twitter, it boggles the mind. When Sahara reporters tweeted that people died, there was no numbers, but it's interesting enough that the military, it is still there on the military and defense headquarters Twitter handle, still there, boldly written, fake news. No, sorry, Sahara reporter tweeted Lekki shooting or Lekki massacre. They said fake news. The military were never deployed. They were never in that arena. So if a government starts with lies, lies, and lies, so what are the people going to believe? If we narrow down the conversation here this evening, people, to what happened in Lekki, there is one thing that is becoming very clear. While that was happening, please, there are things, when government talk about fake news, anyone that understands technology, it means that those that are in charge of the government are, I don't want to say idiots, but they don't understand anything. Because when you're doing a live stream, this is my camera, I'm doing a live stream. You are sitting down there watching me. Whatever I stream, whatever my eye sees, the camera sees is what you're seeing. So there is no way, because it was not planned. If it was something that was planned, that you can say you can doctor the image, then I can now stream to you. But if it's something out of, oh, you stopped me. What's your name? My name is Maz Ezoke, and I have my camera here. Whatever you're seeing is it's what is happening. Someone to come and say that what you just saw now was doctored, honestly boggles the mind. Was it also doctored that we saw, at least that one I saw it from there, BBC, because, let's say we do not trust any media in Nigeria. Let's just, for argument's sake, but we had BBC Pidgin English, 28 minutes, 14 seconds, streaming live. They came from the back because nobody knew, even the BBC never knew that this was going to happen. They were streaming to the point we saw DJ Switch saying, sit down, until shots were fired to the point the camera switched off. Now, if anyone with any iota of gray matters in between the score will understand that if you pan away from what BBC was showing, then you move on to what DJ Switch was streaming, to a point that I still have the video, and that is 1 million authentic, that you saw them when they extracted a bullet from somebody's thighs. So tell me on earth, how could that be fake? We saw people shot in the abdomen. I understand there is one thing that happened here, and I must say this, and this is what I say in every WhatsApp platform that I belong. One thing that happens is when news breaks out, people sometimes want to, most of these younger ones, out of overzealousness, they mix things up. They go grab old pictures. That people shared fake pictures from other unrelated events, yes. We have seen many times Boko Haram kill people in Zamfara or elsewhere. People will share videos from Cameroon saying this is massacre, right? Blah, blah, blah. We know, I will concede here, there were fake pictures. There were fake videos. But these fake pictures and fake videos will not and did not remove the fact that there was shooting, that people died. What we have not established is how many people. But do we only have 2 people dead? No, there are more than that. And one thing in conclusion here, people, one thing I must say to us is the way the government has gone about this from ab initio has not given the people the confidence to come forward. Last week, Sunday, I had one of the victims on my show, and she said something that the people, when the curfew started, people that had addresses started going home. What she meant by that, people that had home, where to go to, people, the real protesters, they started going home. From the BBC video that I alluded before, you can see that even when AY, from AY Comedy, addressed them, after he addressed them, he came down from the podium, he did what? He went home. Now, most of the people that are left were people, some of them without addresses, that have seen the protest ground as a new abode. Therefore, if someone is sitting in Anambra or in Calabar or in Taraba or in Sokoto, without the parents knowing, all that individual knows that my son or my daughter is somewhere in the Southwest, without knowing the position. And how would that individual come up? How would you know that your son is already dead? Like someone said here, we saw what happened in Anambra State with the Ezu River, where we woke up in one day, we saw dead bodies, over 30 dead bodies, yet no one came up to say, this is my son, this is my daughter. That people haven't come up doesn't mean that no one is lost. How many times have we in this country called Nigeria that you will be on WhatsApp forum, someone dies, stays in the morgue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, yet they tell you these are unclaimed bodies. Where are the parents? Why are they not speaking? Because it means that we do not have the data to check this. So in my concluding thought here is, people, please, let us get back to the fact. The fact is, I believe that people died. However, the number is what we don't know. Were they fake videos? Yes. Were they real videos as well? Oh, yes. Thousands of them. Were they real pictures as well? Yes. The picture we talked about being the Nigerian flag being wrapped in blood. I mean, many of us on the 1st October, we already saw those pictures. So the moment we saw that as part of it, I said, no, now let's stop this rubbish. Again, that some people actually the minute set of people did that doesn't mean that every other pictures that you have seen, and then now I refer to my good friend once more, Pia Nigeria, that every other video that you have looked at is fake. If you want to know the videos that have been confirmed, please go to Instagram, go to Reno Omokri. Any video you see there is videos that have been authenticated.
I saw one on Reno Mercury about a lady, a woman that claimed that in Reno Mercury, she was claiming that her son was one of those that died.
That one, the woman in London, that's again, you see, that's what I'm saying.
But many people view it, many people watch it. That's the same thing I'm talking about. Because you are recommending Reno Mercury. I respect him. But look at what's happening about that one.
Oh, my dear, the issue is, in this, people make mistake. Many of us actually will go because if I come to your wall, I see a fake video. Because I know you are the publisher, I will reach out to you. I say, this video, actually, I will show you. This is where this video is taken. Please take this video down because it doesn't add any value. And it discredits you. But what I'm saying, as of today, because one thing the government has succeeded actually doing is, no one, if government is going to expect that anyone is going to come forward, they will be joking because no one would come forward. But those evidences that the government is saying that does not exist, government will be very shocked where those evidences will reappear because of the way the crisis has been managed.
We thank you very much, Mama Zezoke, for those insightful contributions. Let's okay, Alwan, say what you gave us your presentation.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I really like the way Mazi made his own submission, and I would like to reiterate from what I understand Shuaib said, because Mazi still said the same thing, that fake pictures flew, fake videos flew, and this was what Shuaib was talking about. Mazi, I haven't seen any of those. I've watched all of them, including the DJ Switch video, the channels reporting. There is no dead body on that ground.
So where did Lagos State government get to if there was no dead body?
Let me tell you, if you listen to
the Lagos governor,
wait, I will relax. Those people that died didn't come from the toll gate. He said it. One even died of trauma or so. The other one, those two didn't come. Go and check his statement. It was 2 days after the incident, a day after the incident. In fact, Sanyo-Olu was on the ground a few hours, the military left. See, people died somewhere else. People were injured on the road. If anyone has died, I want a picture or a dead body. I want his family to come out and speak. Now, Mazi, they have come to tell you that those that have addresses and have homes left homeless. And it was the homeless that was killed. That is a very big lie. Anyone who told you that is a lie. I was in Lagos. I just came in today. I was in Lagos throughout that time. And I was on that spot, and I'm telling you, nobody died.
Were you at the protest ground?
All those things they were posting were live. So let me tell you, Mazi,
the live streams were also live. The bullet extractions were also live.
All those live streams, yes, bullets were shot, but nobody was killed. Bullets were shot, but nobody was killed.
All right.
People were injured, yes. A lot of people that got injured in that place were for stampeding.
Okorochi Nedu Benedict have been raising his hand for a long time, so please let's recognize him before we call on Eluchie and Marcel. Okoro Benedict, can you unmute yourself?
Hello, yeah, I have done that.
Okay, go ahead, we are listening.
Yeah, Mr. Dan Elumba. Yeah, I'm Okoro Benedict. I'm a security expert. You see, it must have transpired at that very scene. For example, you see, we've created clarity about what we feel is our own understanding of a massacre. In the first place, people are protesting, and the protest at Lekki was based on the high-handedness, the brutality, the application of force. I recall sometime that even the Nigerian police, in some of the trainings, they decided to remove that language, force, from it. So when the military went there, they did not talk with the people. And you are talking about the people who are already expressing some kind of concern about security forces. And what we began to hear was bullet. Mind you, there are people that are hypertensive in that crowd. There are people that have heart issues in that crowd. There are people with some other terminal ailments that may not have even been made manifest. Some of them may not even know. And the average Nigerian, given the impression of what we know about security agencies, is not really palatable. Work something out of the entire scenario by saying that no one was actually killed. Like the other young man who spoke about, Marcel talked about investigation. You know, we know pretty well that immediately the way and manner the government came into that matter, I can assure you nobody who is shot is going to come out. Here is not that kind of society that the government has given the people the sufficient, you know, confidence for them to really speak out when this manner of things happen. Again, the scenario again, the curfew and all that made it more look like as though if you identify yourself, they're gonna come into your house, trail you, and nobody could actually say what's gonna happen to you. After all, this is a country where people who are more important than the protesters disappeared and nothing happened. So it doesn't really give us, you know, good indices and good instruments towards nation building. When such things happen and we begin to paint a picture that we make conclusive comment that nobody died, investigations are still going on. Let us be patient. What we should be doing now is to put, you know, the pieces together to get at a point that will help Nigeria. That is exactly just what I want to say. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, we thank you, Benedict. Okay, Marcel, your turn now, please, if you can unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you. Again, I'm directing my question to Shuaib and Alwan, and I want them to answer me. Will they tell the whole country 100% that they are sure by their investigation that the military did not take away any dead body on the site? I need them to speak.
Well, for me, I'm a reporter. The only thing is any information I get, credible one, I'll report from that perspective.
I'm asking you a yes or no question. Can you 100% say
everyone asking the question?
Exactly.
I'm sorry I can't answer you. I thought it's another person. I'm sorry.
Okay, fine. So it's obvious you can't speak. So Alwan, Hassan, I'm looking at two people that said there was no death. Their statement was there was no death. They were making a statement of fact. And I'm asking Alwan, can you for a fact 100% say that the military never took away any cops?
Marcel, you are already biased in your question.
It's not about bias. I'm just asking you a simple question.
Have you asked people, excuse me, have you asked people that reported death, how they got to dead people's bodies? Did you see pictures? You're just biased.
No.
I'm telling you.
Azan, I'm asking you, I am not saying whether there is death or not. You were the one.
Clearly biased on this thing.
Al-Hazam, you were the one. You and your friend were the one that was saying there was no death. And I'm asking you a simple question. Can you 100%? Can you 100% say that the military did not take away any cops? Can you?
Okay.
You guys are. Prove it now.
Okay, let's hear from.
No, it is you. It is you that don't know what you're doing. Prove it, you Marcel. Prove it that there were dead bodies and were taken by the.
And I'm asking you.
Prove it.
Did you? Can you for 100? Alwan, you are a senior person. And I'm asking you. Can you cross your heart with the God that you serve and say you are sure that 100% that the military did not take any cops? And you are saying there was no death.
Let's hear from Paul and Njoku, please. Paul,
nobody was killed on that whole thing. Nobody was killed.
Paul, on the we want to be clear.
What are we saying?
Alwan, wait.
Alwan,
my brother, wait.
By telling lies, or supporting lies.
Hello, wait.
What point do you want to make?
Wait,
I want him to prove that the military took dead bodies. At least you have seen pictures that the military took bodies.
Mr. Hassan,
but is it because the military are liars?
Mr. Hassan, I'll come back to you.
You all know that the government is not sincere. Yes,
let's listen to this,
including Nigerians too. The society is also not sincere.
Mr. Hassan, wait, please.
Both of us are not sincere.
Mr. Hassan,
the society and the government.
Okay, let's wait.
I want him to prove to us that the military shot people they died and they took the cops.
Okay, wait.
Prove it to us.
We'll come back to that, please. Paul Njoku, I will ask you a direct question.
Let's just speak with an open mind, Gadan.
Mr. Hassan,
let's speak with an open mind. If somebody was killed, I will tell you, yes, I know that someone was killed. I've been in Lagos throughout that time. I just came into Abuja today. And let me tell you, Ogadan, if at the beginning of this protest, I swear I was with them. A lot of people called me, can't you come and support the government that you have put in? I said, support which government? When I've seen demands that are rightfully true. But when they started smoking, taking drugs, smoking Indian hemp, drinking alcohol, even people among them were coming to complain on social media. I now said there is a problem. One. Secondly, when they said, Marcel said that everywhere in the world people can come out, is their right to ask for a president to resign. Yes, it is their right. But I'm sure you know that this is a democratically elected government that has a 4-year mandate.
We will come
and
to
anybody
this
coming out to say the president to go, it means that person is trying to topple a regime. And toppling a regime comes with the consequence.
Mr. Hassan, wait, please. Just wait. We will come back.
They are there to guide the regime.
Mr. Hassan, wait, please.
Why are we just so biased on this?
Mr. Hassan, wait, please. Let's not allow emotion to get so high that we cannot make any headway. Paul Njoku, I'm going to ask you. Paul Njoku.
Marcel is my man. The way he's trying to recognize.
Mr. Hassan, you want me to mute you?
Muti.
Mr. Paul Njoku, on October 20, 2020, on the evening around 6 p.m., where were you?
I was actually at the scene of the massacre, the shooting at Lekki bridge. So, I came in from. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm so very flabbergasted that people, especially Hassan, is overwhelmed by emotion. And I felt that the blood of those people who are massacred at Lekki toll gates should speak volume for those who are, silencing voices and who are making things to be so difficult for people to hacken in terms of confirmation of what happened there. He cannot claim that he was around or he's been following the whole procedures of military intimidation and police brutality over the protest. And I confess I want to say this without mixing words. I'm a human rights activist, and I have dedicated my life for the movement of self-determination and respect for human rights. At that point in time, I was there. As a matter of fact, I left Imo State on the 15th. And when I was leaving, I told my friend and my brother to keep my phones, my 2 phones. I didn't go with them. I didn't travel with them. I told them that I know what this administration is all about, and I know what the military is as well all about, because we had remember that Sowore and Reno and Bakare got intelligence that the military are coming to invade, and they are planning to shoot at us via the protest. And at the point in time, immediately they made that press release. Of course, you publish it. The army denied it, that they're not going to do anything. When I left my 2 phones in Owerri and traveled to Lagos to join my brethren, my fellow comrades in the protest to end in SARS. My brother, what I saw was an eyesore. I came in here and exactly 6:45 p.m. 3 heroes men with men in military uniform invaded us at that place. Little gates. They started firing. They opened fire. And we were singing with all our flags wrapped around us. Then most of them told us to lie down, to slow down, which we all did. I saw bloodshed. I saw people being shot dead. And I saw the military, the men in military uniform, picking dead bodies into their helices, taking them away. The question you have to ask now, why would they off the lights? Why would they switch off the street light? And why would they, as a matter of fact, remove the CCTV cameras? These same persons that are defending the army could not explain why Nigeria army, first of all, initially denied that they were in there. They denied they were in there. Subsequently, they accepted they were there. And they came in there causing the Showolu, the state governor of Lagos State. And the question is that, what would the Nigerian army, what would the military be doing in an arena where there are peaceful protesters, in an arena where defenseless comrades and Nigerians who are asking for good governance? Because NSAS is a metaphor. Why would the army go there? Why would they be there armed in the first place? Why would they come in with their helios? Why would they come in with their sophistications
Mr.
in the
Njoku,
first
now,
place? If it is not intended,
Mr. Njoku,
if it is not intended to massacre people.
There are questions people would like to ask you at this point. So I don't know those raising up their hand whether they would like to ask that question, but let me see if the question I have in mind is also what they have in mind. Mr. Okelo, please, Madikife, if you can unmute yourself and ask your question, let's see whether it will rhyme with mine. Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Let me thank Elomba for the effort he's making in these discussions. It's as if you took it off my mouth. I have a question. I want to know whether Mr. Paul Njoku has raised a memorandum before the Lagos State Judicial Panel as we speak.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I've not done that. But I'm in the process of doing that because I have some internal injuries, and I'm psychologically not balanced for that, But I've spoken with some of my lawyers who told me by Monday next week that they are going to have me located, within my jurisdiction where I'm situated. So I'm going there at the panel to make my testimony. And as a matter of fact, what the panel is doing is quite significant. They're doing a wholesome lot of work. Most of us have written. Most of us have complained. And we have witnessed and foretold what is happening there. And let me tell you this. We are talking about forensics that are evidence of the fact that the Nigerian military were there. They invaded us. And I don't want to just paint or being politically correct or sounding as if, emotionally or not. I am traumatized, my brother. I'm ashamed to be a Nigerian. I'm ashamed to see our military invading the defenseless protesters. So as a matter of fact, what is happening in this country is giving me what I call bipolar disorder. It's giving me sleepless night and insomnia. It's giving me unable to sleep at night, unable to eat. Since then, I've been very psychologically imbalanced. I can't even focus because each time I go to bed, I recollect the traumatic exercise, the traumatic shootings that happened there. And some people are telling me nonsense, making me to feel that all of us were in dream that witnessed what happened there. Let me tell you one thing. Channels Television was there. Channel Television reporter, what is there? The fake guy, on that 20th in the night, he reported everything. And as he was reporting via News at 10, he told Amarachi that any moment from now that he's not even safe. We were at his back during the reportage. He raised live ammunitions. The Channel Television reporter at that Lekki toll gate that night raised the bullets and said, these are the bullets. One of us that was injured, shot at, was presented by the channel reporter that very day. I was at his back, and I told him, none of us is safe here.
Thank you.
I saw dead people on the floor. What are they telling me?
Okay, Lloyd, do you have further question for him? Or
yes, I have a second one.
Sorry?
You had a communication with Reno Omokri, and he picked up intelligence that the military were coming to Lagos, specifically toll gates. Did you also pick up intelligence that the military was dispersing a demonstration at that point in Abuja?
Now, as a matter of fact, I want you to get my facts very clear. I did not say that Rene Omokri called me and gave me the intelligence. Neither did I say that Sowore called me to give me the intelligence. No. I said I read their press reportage, their statement in their social media accounts, that Rene Omokri said that this is what is going to happen. And even there is division amongst the army, whether to side the protesters or not. And Sowore and Deji Adeyanjo also say so. Then the army responded that it is not true, that is fake. And let me tell you, Elumba will bear me witness. On that 18th, on the 18th being Sunday, I did an article. And that article is that telling the Nigerian army not to shoot at us, not to invade us, Not immediately they announced the Operation Python does. I did that article, and I know what they can do. This is a country that is very shameless. This is a country that do not respect human rights.
No, sorry,
this is a
excuse
country
me.
that denies
Excuse
the
me.
blood of innocent being
No,
murdered in the
let me
streets.
redirect. No, there is time enough. There is time enough for the emotions, but not now. Let me redirect. The question is focused on whether there was any information at your disposal relating to the dispersal of demonstrations in Abuja on the same Tuesday.
Dispersal of demonstrators have been happening from the 15th. In fact, in Abuja, see, I hate being politically correct.
Day.
That particular day, no, the dispersal of Abuja, we are talking, the team is the local Lekki shootings. And let me come briefly where you are coming now. My brother, let me tell you, as a Nigerian and as you as a Nigerian, you and I know that this protest was peaceful. It is a peaceful, coordinated protest. We are armless, we are defenseless, and we are talking about good governance. We are talking about good protection and economic sovereignty of this nation.
Let's take another question.
No, okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Eluchie, please.
Yes, I want to first of all correct an impression that was said by the first speaker on this program when he said that there were some. Now, that error has permeated our system. It's not to protect the government. It's rather they owe a duty to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So they shouldn't have gone there to protect any government when they started hearing Buhari must go or whatever. Now, I understand the passion being expressed by Mr. Paul Njoku. There is actually a reason why denials of Holocaust, denials of mass atrocities is a crime in civilized climes. Now, those of you who are saying that despite the realities we saw, that those killings did not exist or those shootings did not exist, you are actually re-killing, re-murdering those who were murdered, killing those who are, you are killing their corpses. So it's actually, I mean, we should also be like civilized climes. And then when you begin to utter such words, there should be a crime, there should be a consequence to it because people know what they saw. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's call on Ms. Briggs, please. Thank you. You can unmute yourself, please.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you, madam.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My own is not a question. First of all, Mr. Paul Njoku, I absolutely sympathize with you about your the issue of trauma. I cannot imagine it past my recollection of what the Civil War was like, since I was right in the middle of the Nigerian Civil War. So I have experienced the sort of trauma that you are talking about when it comes to being at a place where guns are being fired, people are dying around you, and you happen to survive. I have been in the belly of that. I have my experiences. Because I also am very traumatized as a mother, as a Nigerian, and as somebody who watched that very live feed from a DJ. Now, let me put it like this. I've listened almost right from the beginning, and I'm actually more traumatized that for over a week now, I have watched a lot of interactions over the airwaves on television, and I have seen very clearly two sets of people. I am on one set, and some people that are on this platform are also on that set. Now, there is one set of people across Nigeria that are determined to justify and deny what happened at Lekki. And then there are people who are horrified, like I am horrified, because I know somebody personally, a young lady who was at that toll gate in the evenings after work until maybe about 10, 11. Her parents live here in Port Harcourt. If she was there that night, after work. I don't know if she would have survived. That's one. I also know that my own daughter, my last child that was in Port Harcourt at that time, before the shooting happened, she was also involved in this thing at the Port Harcourt angle. I know a lot of people. So to give it the impression that this is an activity of, say, criminals and people who want to bring down the government. This is a democracy. This government in power brought a government down by social media, by lies, and I take responsibility for everything I'm saying here tonight, and terrorized people who were in power, in democratic power, out of power. So here, that the impression and the emotions and the anger that is coming out since 2 weeks ago, that young people came out and dared to say that Buhari must resign. What is that? How many times did we call for Obasanjo to resign? How many times did we call for Jonathan to resign? I mean, why, if people say Buhari should resign, is that a criminal offense? Is that an offense that is punishable by death? So what? If Buhari is not doing well for some area of Nigeria, we have a right to say so. I didn't vote for Buhari. A lot of people didn't vote for. He himself knows we didn't vote for him. We're the 5% he's referring to, and we know it. So to say that because people said that Buhari should go, that there were a set of people that will defend the government to the extent that there will be casualty. Oh yes, we saw the casualties, all right. We have an army that walked into a place, and it is the onus is on the army and the government to prove that they did not. The onus is not on you and I. This government have not proven that it is a government of truth. So we go by what we see and what we hear, because the government does not tell us the truth. And so if Nigeria, I hear people say one Nigeria, oh, Nigeria must stay together. Yes, but at whose cost? At the cost of whose children? I have seen on social media children of my own children's age boarding private jets. Where did they get it from? If we're going to talk about what is irritating people. So when these young people are saying that this government has failed and that this government must go, it's not only about SARS. I live in Port Harcourt. SARS have been in Port Harcourt for over a decade, and I can tell you the atrocities they have committed here. I have experience of it. My own younger brother was brutalized, almost killed. I was happy that he came back alive. So when a whole nation is engulfed in this type of thing, and the thing is divided right around the middle, where immediately this thing started, a group up north said that if this thing is going to bring Buhari's government down, there will be war. There will be no war. Why should there be a war? Because Buhari is no longer the president. Why? You know, so I am horrified as somebody at my age to hear the very people that are in the same age group of these people that were out there to be defending something like this, to say that people didn't die, that to say that they just shot, that there was, the army said, I even heard a previous spokesman for the army, I think Usman or something, a brigadier general, said 2 days ago on Arise that it was blank bullets. I mean, do we really believe that we are a people that can stay together into 2023 when one side of Nigeria is accepting that it is very okay to kill a group of youth from one side of Nigeria because of whom they support in politics. You know, so I mean, please, thank you for just listening, because I think that I am expressing, believe me, I am expressing this not as a Niger Delta person right now. I have a right to express it in that manner, but I am not. I am expressing it as a human being, as a mother, as somebody who is in a country that is failed, that I used to be proud of, that I am no longer proud of. Nigeria has crumbled. If we want to fix it, let us be true to ourselves. If we don't want to fix it, I don't mind. Let everybody go their own way. But please don't kill everybody before we go our own way. Thank you so much.
Prof, please. Professor Ikechukwu, please.
Okay. I think my question relates to Nigeria. That is on both sides. I think we should all pursue what is appropriate for Nigeria. I think, considering what happened at the toll gate, there is the need for us to wonder why some of us spread false news. There was a legitimate protest that has been corrupted by the false videos and narratives. I think we should be as concerned about the false information going out there. The amount of false information that has engulfed the world is so much that we should express equivalent passion to curtail it as we do because on issues we want to advocate. If we don't do that, it will surely take away from what we want to pursue that is legitimate. I would like people on the side of the corrupt videos and text to really consider how to curtail the misinformation out there. It is so much that it's going to really affect a lot of things. And if we don't take time, people will take action against themselves. In Nigeria, an ethnic group will attack another ethnic group because of false videos and false information. And what we are trying to prevent, that is Nigerian war, another war may happen just out of fake videos and fake information, fake news, fake reports. And I don't see us taking it very seriously. I think it's an area that will be taken very, very seriously by the media, the public. Any information you see, you should try to verify it before you believe. If not, you may cause problems before you realize that you use the wrong information. Thank you.
Okay, we thank you very much. I have a question I want to ask on both sides of the device. Shuaib, I hope Shuaib and Alwan are still here. So I will direct this question to Shuaib and Alwan, and I'll also direct my next question to Paul, Njoku, and now Mazi Ezoke, who we now see have also done a lot of work on this issue. First, my question to Shuaib and Alwan is this. Do you accept that the Nigerian military were at Lekki toll gate that evening of October 20? If they were, second, did they shoot at the crowd? Did they shoot at the protesters? If they did, were some people injured? And do you have an idea how many were injured? That's my question to that side, and then I will go with I have my question to the other side. So Shuaib, can you look at these three questions and tell us what you think? Unmute yourself, please.
Yes. Thank you very much. One, I think, well, unfortunately, sometimes some people judge people by their name and their position, especially when it comes to issue like this. One, for those who know me, Yushau, Shuaib, they know what I stand for. In fact, just a month ago, if people have to go and search what I did, what I wrote against the Nigerian military, they know that I don't believe in bias.
No, Mr. Shuaib, anyone that knows you, sorry, anyone that knows you know you are not a friend of the Nigerian military. That's not an issue. Unless the person does not know about PR Nigeria, or the other person doesn't know about the work you have done. You are not a friend of the Nigerian military at all. I know you have even been arrested, detained for some of your reports against the Nigerian military. So that is not the issue.
Because that is actually my fear. Many people, when they see my name, but one thing is I always stand for justice and fairness.
Yes.
And one thing I want to point out on what happened, because you know that PR Nigeria, we exclusively cover what they do, the military, security, intelligence, and rescue agency. Yes. On that day, let all of us put ourselves in this position. Look at what happened. That day, we all know, if it's unfortunate for one of them to come out to say the military were not there, they were there. And there's no reasonable government that will not allow the military to be in that place that day. And the reason was, at that time, almost every police officer in Lagos is doing what? He was hiding. The reason? They have been humiliated, harassed, killed. And people have no regard for the police at that period. Now, when it comes to curfew, it has been imposed by state government. So what happened next? Does it mean that the curfew will not be obeyed? The government find necessary to invite the military to be there. In fact, when that thing happened, most of us are aware. In fact, when they said that the military were saying that they were not there, I was surprised. They were there. But at that level, they just have to be there. Look at some of the incidents that happen other places. Many people, I wrote in one of my articles, an incident happened in Kano on Wednesday, Thursday, when there was fake video from Aba and Port Harcourt about the massacre of northern traders. The video was trending. Luckily enough, look at the video this guy did, what they call him, Asai Dokubo. You would never know how that video by Asai Dokubo play a lot of magic in the north. It's not a northerner. He doesn't believe in all this northern agenda. But Asai Dokubo was able to send a message to tell them, look, we'll not allow anybody to kill a northerner in Aba by airport or anything. To some extent, it helped that on Friday, no untoward incident happened in Kano. So now back to the issue. Yes, the military were there, just like they confirmed that they were invited by the government. And they stopped there. Like I said, if there's any evidence today that to contradict information provided that they killed, fine, and we will publish it. I'm more than reporter. The information I get.
So now, Shuaib, the military were there. Did they shoot at the protesters? And we have some people injured. Do you have an idea how many people were injured from your investigations?
Thank you very much. In that one, as a reporter, I will only use verifiable information from credible source. So which is verifiable and credible information? What are the credible source? Is this just on Instagram, the celebrities?
No,
social media?
Is the question now, from your own investigation,
yes,
did the military shoot at the protesters and were anyone injured?
Based on information they provided, based on information the ministry provided, they say that they shot in the air, they didn't kill. And based on information provided by Lagos State Governor, he said that 2 people were killed. And he was saying that he could not confirm whether they are from Lekki. Okay. That's the information that's available. That's only that I can confirm.
So from your confirmation,
yes,
there was no injury from those.
No. There's no way there will be injury. We're already seen some injured patient in hospital. That can confirm. But as I'm thinking at this hour, at this moment, I'm yet to see. Look, like I said.
Okay. Do you have an idea? Okay. Do you have an idea how many people were injured from the event of Lekki toll gate?
No. There are many people that are injured in Lagos that period. And most of the injured, you cannot determine whether they are from Lekki or from other places.
No, we are concerned about Lekki tonight. That Lekki toll gate incident of October 29th. How many people do you think were injured from that particular incident?
When it comes to fact and figure, I try to be extremely careful. I have to
give us an idea. Give us an idea.
No, I cannot. I know there are many people that are injured.
Okay, many people. All right. Well, okay, we thank you. Let's go to Paul and Njoku. Alwan, do you have any answer to these few questions before we go to the other side? You can unmute yourself, Alwan.
Ogadan.
Yes, I'm not Oga. I've already told you. Now, these three questions. Really, wait, these three questions.
Two questions to ask.
Alwan, wait. These three questions.
Quickly.
Yes.
Quickly. Character check. If you cannot stand for my character the way you stood for Shuaib, I'm sure Mazi can stand for my character.
Yes.
And there is no way I will come up here and be defending soldiers while they killed.
Yes.
What I am trying to say is what we have seen, the military shot in air.
Yes.
They didn't shoot protesters. But of course, I saw a few videos, a few pictures of people being wounded with a bullet on the legs. That I have seen.
Okay.
Then your second question, or is it? I've answered the two questions in just one.
Yes. Well, yes. You have.
Ugadan, please. There is a point I want to make.
Yes.
Somebody said he left his 2 phones in Owerri.
I'm coming to him.
And went to Lagos.
I'm coming to him.
And went to Lagos for a protest. And you want me to believe such a person? Papa,
okay.
You are going to war. You now kept your guns. Because of course the phones are now our guns. If you have a problem, it is your phone you use, snap picture and take it to social media, and people will help you in making noise. And even if you are being cheated, you will be released. So how could you keep your 2 phones in Owerri and fly to Lagos and go to a battleground? Papa, let's be sincere with ourselves. Auntie Ankyo, these are the kind of things that make me disbelieve reports we're seeing from that place. A lot of people came out and said this so-so person died. The same people came on social media and reputed it. I don't understand why we should always lie. I can never be in support of the government killing its citizens.
Of course, yes.
There is no way I will support the military killing its citizens.
We also...
and at the same time, we should also understand that those guys behind the uniform are to protect us, and they are human beings and they are Nigerians too. We shouldn't discard them as in the garbage.
No, Mr. Hassan,
we should always recognize the fact. Please. That is what I'm trying to do. Ogadan, if this government, Buhari's government, that I am part and parcel of the people that brought it to power, becomes this bad, as it's been said by people, that this government kills its citizens, I will be part of those citizens that will be killed. There is no way I would support a government that kills its citizens.
Okay, we thank you.
Papa, let's just look at this thing.
Okay, please. There are lots of people raising up their hand, but let me also direct my questions directly now to Paul, Njoku, Eluchie, and Mazi. Okay, what they think. Now, my question is there any video or picture of someone who died at that incident that we can easily verify? I'm asking this question because the next question is, why was it that immediately that thing happened, we saw a lot of videos of people who died, a lot of pictures, and then within 24 hours, we started hearing that those people were alive. Now, because of that is the problem, why I can't understand why people now start questioning, okay, does anyone really die? So is there any video we have now or picture of someone that we can say, yes, this has been confirmed that this person actually died from that incident at Lekki toll gate? Let's me unmute. Okay, Mazi is okay, it's unmuted. Paul Njoku is unmuted. So anyone can take that question first, please.
Or the family of the person who died, who can verify.
All family, yes, all family that can confirm.
Yes. Why is there anyone? Let's start from there. Paul.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I want to make this issue now very clear to Mr. Hassan, who talked about the possibility of one leaving his phone from any part of the country coming to any part of the country. I tell him it is true. And I might be clinically be provoked to give him some intelligence. But let me tell him this, that many people, including celebrities at Lekki toll gate, at that night did not even come with their devices. Did not even come in their cars. Because you know what? At the outskirts, on the environs of that territory, security agents were gatekeeping screening to know participants of this peaceful protest. I know I have some people in the military. I have some friends in the army. And I know most of the things going on. I am not interested in any way of what the government sponsored people who are invading and obstructing the peaceful movement, the peaceful clarion call for good governance and NSAS as a metaphor. I am not interested about that because our movement, which is enshrined in the Constitution 1999 amended and Section 40 for peaceful protest, was hijacked by government-sponsored miscreants and hoodlums.
Yeah, Mr.
Who were
Njoku.
even stealing our phones.
Okay, Mr. Njoku, yes.
Who were even beating us, and who were ransacking, trying to extort any of this we have. And now go back to the pictures, or most of the pictures you see on the internet.
Yes.
Some are verifiable, some are not, some are good, some are bad. I am not saying that all the videos, all the collections of the pictures you see in the social media are true. And I'm not saying all of them are false. Thank God there is panels. Oh my goodness sake. I am ashamed of this country. What they are after is significant, verifiable, forensic pictures and videos. What was the army doing in the Iranian? Okay. What was the police also doing there? Somebody lied that the police, they were afraid. That was why a military camp is a bloody lie, a pernicious lie from the pit of hell. Police were clamping us down. And we were telling them that we are even agitating for their own welfare, for the increment in their salaries and all the rest. Some of them believe us, while some are indisciplined.
All right, we thank you.
Trigger happy policemen.
We thank you.
We are on, see, let me make this point. What caused the lurings you are seeing now, and what caused will I call it miscreancy you are seeing across the states, is because of that shooting.
Yes, we know.
It's because of the shooting.
Okay.
And I'm coming, excuse. I blame Mr. President for not curtailing this at the initial time.
We'll
and I blame him for
not
telling the military crocodile smile not to strike. What was the army doing in the arena? And somebody's telling me,
please, we'll come to that. So that
verifiable pictures. Why? What's the army doing that place? Our lights were switched off.
We'll come to that. We'll
relax. Okay.
The camera CCTV were switched off. What was the intention?
Oh,
we are telling you to us when the pictures not that we are verified.
But yesterday when the panel went to the tool, there were CCTV cameras on.
We will come to there are so many things we need to consider, but when we start...
cameras were there. As at yesterday, the panel confirmed that cameras were on.
Yeah, that's a different camera. That's a different camera. That's a different camera. Let us see it, what happened. You do not have to defend this government or what happened.
That picture of that person carrying a camera that went round is a lie. Don't take it as what you are saying.
Why the light? Why you off the light?
Can I?
I think
there
I
was come over. Somebody carrying somebody with yellow uniform.
Why
carrying camera?
Can I speak now, please?
I'm so sorry. I have to meet you guys. I hope you will not be offended. So let's.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Mama Zezeke, please. Yeah.
So what
we have any verifiable video of a dead body or picture or any name we can go home with tonight?
Now the issue is, I must say, do I have a verifiable video of dead body? I will say, and I've said it before, those will come out to the right authority when no questions will be asked anymore. But let me make something clear, people. I found it a little bit intriguing, to say the least, that we now classify Nigerian citizens as flying birds, as if they are the witchcraft of some sort of states in Nigeria that fly. Because when you tell people barefaced that your military came in and they shot in the air, you invariably have told Nigerians that, whoa, Nigerians are now flying. So when they shot in the air, they were hit. That's what it means. Now, when you look at, I mean, if, what's it called? If Yeshua sorry, the PR Nigeria, if you avail me your number, I've seen, I can probably get you, because I can honestly, personally, because I deal with data, it hurts me that so much fake news got into this conversation. And it appears we are missing the point. The point is, why did the military in the first instance go to Lekki? That's the question every Nigerian must be asking. Let us please not make this a North-South divide. This is a fundamental question that the military had nothing to do within that civilian space. These were a people that have been, I mean, that location, Lekki, was the most peaceful of all locations. Then it boggles the mind. Why and what were the military doing there? Now we are saying that the military were shooting, you see, look at it. They were shooting in the air with what they call, not rubber bullet, whatever bullets they called it. And even yesterday when the panel went there, they were still seeing some bullet shells. Yet, where did these bullets come from? And please, can we say, you know, if you look at that, Lekki, because if you take your time, you don't need to be there. Mental, just some basic forensic. You know, there is an elevated like blocks with plastic that is there. I mean, those, for most people, will get up to their knees. Now, it means if they were shooting to empty legs, those barriers would actually prevent. Now, for you to get to somebody's waist, talking to abdomen, it means something else. So I struggle, you know, trying to be fair and just here. I struggle to comprehend. We all saw when George Floyd was killed. We all saw even when the American president talked about bringing the National Guard. Okay, thank you very much for these pictures. Now, please, can we look at these? These are live ammunitions. You can see where the bullet hit this individual. Tell me, this is dagger. I have another one that is on the thigh. I have another picture, you know, from the scene, because I was also reporting as of that time. And anyone who cares, please, this research brought out today by Premium Times, I must commend them for this report, because this report is so accurate, it's voluminous. And if you take your time and read, digest every single word that Premium Times have published here, it will help us to understand. One thing that we all here should work together to condemn is, we have riot police if this protest was going out of hand. Military had no reason to be there. And you can see this. These are videos, these are pictures. Now, these are pictures with reverse image showing exactly the location and live streams to say this is what happened. If we want to continue to deny it, it's up for us to deny it, but I believe that this Lagos panel of inquiry, hopefully they will do the needful and we will eventually get justice, because these are our brothers and our sisters, irrespective of which part of Nigeria you come from. They demand justice, and justice we must aid them to get. But please, let us stop sharing unverified video. Now, my good friend from the PR Nigeria that said that the man removing camera wasn't real. I laugh. The man was real. Those were cameras. But what the issue there was a clarification issue that those were number plate recognition. So let's not mix two things. Number plate recognition camera is not the same as CCTV camera. And if you had followed the visit yesterday, being Friday, you would also find out that, yes, they have submitted the CCTV recording to the panel. They said there was CCTV recording, and I argued in another forum, those CCTVs are infrared, meaning they can also record in darkness. What you and I should be doing is to hold this panel responsible to ensure that they unearth the truth. But let us keep quiet, give them time. The truth that will come from this panel, if they do justice to what they've been appointed to do, will shock many of us, and probably some of us will take back what we have said here today. Thank you very much.
Now, the question we should be asking at this point is, do we trust this Lagos State panel? Marcel, please, should we trust this Lagos judicial panel to do any justice to this inquiry? What do you think?
Okay, Mazi, Dan, when it comes to issue of trust, it's a question of how the amount of information you have about the character of the people in that panel. Sorry, please. I don't have much information about them. And what I understand about Nigeria, the country, and how most of these panels go, it ends up becomes another paper pile somewhere. You know, the question is that who has authority to punish if anybody was found culpable? The whole thing will still go back to the presidency, and then the presidency can decide not to act. You can't do anything about it. But one thing I want to state, which I also want every one of us to understand, especially Alwan and Shuaib, and I'm not picking on you, I just want you to get my point of view. I started a program here in January, and one of the first things that they put on my table is plagiarism. It's called a test of academic integrity. So I was told in a very simple term that when you are making a statement of fact and it is your statement, to a source, you do a proper referencing to that source and say, look, this is to this source, not my statement. You absorb yourself from it. So this point needs to clear. So when people are making statement of fact, I pick them on it, and that's why you see me asking specific question. And if I'm now going to place these two people on the pedestal of academic integrity in terms of what the statement they are making and the kind of information they are bringing on, they will be rated extremely low. They are not owning up to the information they have. Is a secondary source for information which cannot be traced. So the source of that information you cannot say this is so in academic parlance, you don't even present that. Okay, so we throw that report out. And I want to plead with my people. A life is sacred. I'm a living being. If a bullet goes through my head today, I am dead. All of you will know I am dead. So the same way any other person that is a living being. So let's stop treating humans as if they are rag, or as if they are, even cats and animals are living beings. And in civilized country, whenever you have found out that a particular person has lied, you do not believe anything again from that person because it's not credible. At all in anything, and the person is made to leave that city because you can no longer trust his judgment. We have established lies from the Nigerian military. First, they were not there. Now they were there. And then some people are here saying they shot up in the air. These are just clear lies. And by virtue of that, it throws out whatever thing that they're bringing to the table. Not credible, not usable. And that's my point.
Okay, in the issue of lies, I think Ezueke pointed out that one of the problems we have is that there seem to be lies on both sides. Now, let me quickly show a few pictures so that as we are going home tonight, let it not be that we have wasted our time here. Let us see if we can establish, let's see what we can establish at this point before we all call it a day. So if you permit me, I think, Maz, if you also have something to share.
Can I just chip on something about the trust in the Lagos State government?
I'm coming, please. I'll come to, okay, please allow me to just so. Because the issue is, when this thing happened, all of us, we are awake on that night, on that Tuesday night. So we are like, what is going on? And then subsequently, immediately, a lot of pictures started spreading. Let me see where I will start. There are so many. Okay, let me, oh, sorry, I've lost it. Okay, let me start from here. Now, this is one of the pictures that came out. Let me move this now. Yes, this is what a picture that came out that night. Immediately we are told that Eroya Godwin is dead. Well, suddenly we discovered that Eroya Godwin is alive. And we saw this picture.
Yeah, but it's basic now. It basic, look at the picture, sorry. You see, when you look at something like this, you look at that, I would have doubt in my mind.
Yes, Mazienzo, okay, you will have that doubt because you are in the profession. But what about the other Nigerians who go to Twitter to see all this? So this is number one. And then let's go ahead. Okay, now. Look at this picture. Immediately, someone called me that night, immediately said, Daniel, is it true that Eniola Badmus is dead? I said, well, I don't know. I will find out. We later found out that the lady is very much alive. We are told he died. Now, the next day, okay, this is, okay. About the lady that I think led the world, even in war. This another gentleman would be Daniel. Okay, Ikechukwu will be. We later found out that it's not true. Tinubu just landed in London. We later found out it's not true. Okay, this is a particular.
Exactly. This one was the Independent Day, you know, drama. Yeah. Right. This is just basically it.
Okay, so so we later found out that this is a fake picture. But even I myself was like carried away. I retweeted it without knowing that it's false. Another gentleman here, missing person, Joseph Bazi. He's not missing.
Dan, I don't know if I can ship this in. I attended a conference on social media, and there was question on whether social media should be.
I'll allow you
banned.
to. I'll allow you to.
Okay.
So let's just show these pictures, and then we will go to the fact, because when I asked, has any been verified? Premium Times was insistent that they verified them. So I will comment on those earlier pictures I showed earlier. Now this is this lady. We are told that he was just dancing. We didn't know, and they said he danced to her death. We didn't know that was not true.
A lie.
These flags, we are shown these flags full of blood. We later found that they are not true.
So can we look at that Premium Times publication where they had?
All right. So let's quickly. Okay, we are showing this one. This guy is important, because his own was like, it trended for a very long time. We later found that it's not true. NYSC, we later found out it's not true.
I think, Dan, you need a question on fake news. You need Dan, you need a question on fake news. You need to feature fake news, because fake news is going to cause a big problem in Nigeria.
Exactly. And I agree.
I see people expressing so much passion about wrongness. Yeah, that is fine, it's fair. But when you harbor animosity that is born out of lies, out of misinformation, out of fear-mongering. Yeah, there was a time videos were going around that Boko Haram were loaded in trucks coming to Edo, Anambra, rivers, and all they've taken over. It was all lies. And there is a need for the Nigerian public to be educated, especially for some of us, diaspora.
Yes, like you said, let us have another session on Facebook, but let's quickly run through this so that let me not stream the.
Dan, sorry, as you are streaming this, I need you to also stream to us all the various lies from this government, because it looks as if the whole thing is just, it's all about lies. Everybody is just lies, everything.
All right, let's quickly.
We need to solve the problem, not giving lies back.
Exactly.
Do you realize it's possible that even the government itself might have posted all those fake pictures online because to discredit the entire process? I mean, there is disinformation even in conflict management. They could have deliberately posted all those stuff online to confuse the polity.
Yes. So now this is the video I tried explaining to us. no matter how fake you can get, because this was being watched by so many people, there is no way you can fake this video. No matter what the government says, this video, there is no way you can fake it.
Yes, no, I think, let us be clear. I think the issue of whether the army was there is clear. Let's not deny that. And the army shot at people. Let's not deny that. The army shot, even if you're shooting in the air, that is bullet. You will still hit.
No, they are shooting at flying Nigerians. No?
Well, so the army was there. There's no doubt about that. So the army was, this video was being streamed live as it was happening. And there's no way you can fake this. So they were shooting. Let me, should I go back or do I continue from where it stopped?
Yeah, no, continue.
Okay.
No, we there here. We go there here. I said we go there here. We go there here. We there here.
All right, let's
Dan, Njoku said something today that if you have been caught lying, most cases your credibility can be adversely affected.
Let us look at this line, Prof. Now that I mentioned, let us look at this line from the governor.
No, if he's talking about lie, then the army has lied, the governor has lied. We can as well discard them as well.
Hospitals, that's what we've seen, as records. What has happened is there's been so many footages that we're seeing that people have shown, but we've not seen bodies, we've not seen relatives, we've not seen anybody truly coming up to say, indeed, XYZ, I'm a father, I'm a mother to someone, and I cannot find that person. Nobody has turned up, right? I've been to the ground. There is no scratch of blood anywhere there.
Who ordered people to be shot?
That's a lie.
Security services carried out the shooting.
Well, I mean, from the footage that we could see, because there are cameras that are at that facility, it seems to me that there will be men in military uniform, which should be Nigerian army or something.
So you're saying that it was military officers who ordered peaceful protests?
Yeah, that's what the pictures, yes. They were there. That's what the footage, that's what it shows.
Will that CCTV footage at the toll gate be part of the investigation that you have now called for?
It will be. Certainly it will be. It will be. And it's
the question I want us is anybody able to address this point, please? Why would the army deny that they were there and the governor is saying that the army was there? Secondly, what do we say about who invited the army to come? Someone said I didn't invite the army. The army said someone invited us.
No,
I don't know whether
questions now because
sorry.
So
I don't think those are questions now because they've been clarified. The army admitted that someone who invited them, and then someone who is not denying that. So that area has been cleared. I don't think it's any issue. But my real worry, like you once asked about the credibility of the government panel, there is a common balance in law that you should not be a judge in your own cause. The Lagos state government, being the authority that invited the military, which did this shooting, should not in any way be the entity to establish a panel. And those who are participating in any way, even submitting reports, submitting memorandum, it won't go anywhere. The ideal thing for civil society to have done was to host an alternate panel. Or if that's not possible, then have an international body come in and look into this matter. Those are the two ways. For the crap set up by the government, it's not going to produce anything. It's simply not going to produce anything. Because there will be the same effort we saw from the onset, an effort to whitewash the whole process, an effort at denial. So those civil society who are participating in this process are merely going to accord some level of credibility to an incredulous system.
All right. Okay. Please. We realize that we've just Mr. Onomachido is here. I don't know whether he would like to, because I would like to ask a question on this Premium Times report. Those who have read it, what do you think about the content of that report? If Mr. Onoma, please, if he's able to, I know he hasn't indicated, but now that you are here, we'd like to hear from you. And also Shuaib of PR Nigeria. A lot of people refer to your medium as an authority on several issues regarding the military. So if you have read this Premium Times report, please let us know what you think. Okelo Madikife also, if you have read this report, please tell us what you think.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, Mr. Noma.
Yeah, thanks. And I haven't, it's a long report. I just, we are about 8 hours behind Nigeria. So it's just around little past noon where I'm just waking up and catching up. I haven't read the report, but I've looked at summary from Twitter and other social media platforms, but also the engagement on the WhatsApp platform, which myself, Shuaib, and it's the Premium Times WhatsApp group and our own Corruption Anonymous WhatsApp group where the discussion has come up. I think there are a few takeaways, a number of things. Again, going back to the denial, first by the military, then by the state government. So the issue for me is fundamental. The army was called in, which was completely unnecessary. And I heard Phil talking about, and I wonder where the information or how, when he spoke authoritatively about the need for the military to have come in at that time. And I'm wondering, did you get that from, you weren't, I know he's a thoroughbred reporter, but he wasn't in Lagos, I would assume. Whatever information he got, when he talks about why it was necessary for the military, I would like to get further clarification on that. Why he felt, and why Lekki was not, even though it was the center of protest, but it was not the only place that the protest was going on in Lagos, for example. So if we agree that the military was there, you ask yourself, why was the military there? For what purpose? And you agree that the military shot at people. What did you expect? That if the military approaches a situation where you have demonstrators, either people will provoke them to shoot, or they may just go out of their way to shoot people. So there is still a lot that we really need to be careful pandering to the narrative as pushed out by the military. Let's wait and see what, at the end of the day, what comes out from the investigative panel. That's flawed, and I completely agree with what Eluchie said, as flawed as the panels, but at least they will give us some insight into what happened exactly. But we know from videos that we've seen, and we have no reasons to doubt those videos, that the soldiers were there, that they shot at people, and that people were injured. Whether these injuries would lead to fatality later, or whether they did lead to fatality at the time, we are not very clear on that. So our responsibility, in as much as I appreciate the concern to be circumspect in reporting news, and I think again, and this is just an aside, we seem to be paying too much attention to this whole issue of fake news and social media platforms. Somebody mentioned somewhere, that Nigeria fake news is going to drag us into another civil war. I'm said, this is 50 years after the civil war we fought. There was no cell phone, there was no social media. So it wasn't social media that led to the civil war of 1966, 1967, 1970. Those issues that led to the civil war that ended 50 years ago are still with us today. Social media is just amplifying them. Social media is just making it possible to have real-time analysis and real-time experience of these same issues. There are more fundamental issues to deal with than focusing on social media. And there is a ready antidote to the whole idea of social media. And I think it's something you talked about earlier. Perhaps you can devote a section of your program to it. This, just as you have technology, there is also an aspect, a global movement of media and information literacy that teaches people what they need to do, how they need to use technology, how they need to be circumspect when they get information, news, and so on. So we can't stop people putting rings around the use of social media. It's just not going to work. We're at the end of the day, we're going to pander to the states and the likes of Lai Mohammed, who want to unleash terror and restrict the civic space. People will continue to push out fake news because maybe it's profitable, it serves some political end. What we should be concerned about as journalists, as activists, is how do we educate citizens? How do we enlighten citizens? How do we provide the necessary information that citizens need to have to be able to counter the effect of fake news, hate speech, and so on? We are not going to do that by making laws. We are not going to do that by keep mounting the rhetoric that, oh, social media is bad, social media is going to lead us to another war and all of that. That will be there. You can't stop people because people can stay in their room. Somebody can stay in Russia or Kazakhstan or some strange country and send out messages. The important thing going forward for us, I think, is to take advantage. Just as you have the technology that enables fake news, you also have the technology that empowers people to be able to sift through this thing, to be able to critically analyze information and messages. And that's a more fundamental thing. When you have a population where almost half of the country adults can't read and write, and you begin to question social media, that means about half of your adult population can't comprehend what government is saying. They can't comprehend what is happening. In short, if you define literacy as the ability to read and write and to understand a short statement about your life, about half of Nigerians do not have the capacity to do that. And we are concerned about social media. What do you expect? You're not going to go far. So this is just my intervention, and I thank you as always for creating this platform and this opportunity to share our views. Thank you.
We thank you very much.
Dan, sorry, I have checked the Premium Times report. I just did a quick check. And by my analysis of, if I want to look at the integrity of reporting, the first thing I look for is there a credible source I can always make reference to? Okay, that anytime I need to verify that information, I can point them to. Two, are there eyewitness account? Now, when an eyewitness comes so bold and say, "Camera me," at that point, you can't be telling lies and say, "Camera me." You understand? So I just went through the reports and the videos, and then the strategic location of that shanty means that they will, where they are, they will see what is happening on the other end. So anybody that really wants to get insight in what happened, that Premium Times report, is a clue. And I will also advise Yusuf and his group, they should try and look at that Premium Times report. It provided them with what they are looking for. So if they now find out that anything was false, then you can always reconvene this event, and let us take a second look. But from my analysis, I believe the Premium Times report. Thank you.
Okay. Shuaib, please. What do you think about that Premium Times report? Shuaib?
Actually, I went through the report, and like I said earlier, my concern is about the issue of sorry.
That's fine.
Sorry, please.
That's okay.
I just want to bring in my video. I don't know, I'm having a challenge here, but all the same, what I can say about, I read the report because I've been talking with Premium Times all this while. Even my article, the last one I wrote about fake news, anarchy, and the rest of us, I took the boldness in mentioning the people I contacted about some of this issue. Everyone was seeking for some of the email that we can use to verify some of the information. I spoke to the President Editor-in-Chief. I spoke to even the spokesperson of Amnesty International. We spoke to Al Jazeera, Eluchie. I mentioned their name just to authenticate that the fact that I'm not just making the story. But one thing which I look at most of the report is the emphasis has always been on the issue of eyewitness account, and they talk about some shanty residents telling them about a floating corpse, dead body. And when I was following that dead body, what I would intend to have seen is that maybe the report will have said, okay, after getting dead body, they were able to recover it, and then it was subjected to forensic analysis to confirm whether it was from the Lekki or that it was blood reading, but there's something like that. But that's by the side. Like I keep on saying, one of my arguments, especially on the issue of fake news, is the fact that, like I said, I personally, on the issue of the answers and similar protests toward good government, I only believe strongly in it. I believe in you. They have the right to voice out their hang about the system that the government have. But my concern, especially with what had happened, is the fact that the media and civil society group should be very, very, very conscious and wary of fake news on social media. By what? Like I said, even this Payment Time report, which I strongly believe in that integrity, I believe in most of the reporters, but still, they need to subject some of the eyewitness account and other content to critical verification and authentication before authorizing such information for dissemination. Like I keep on saying, sometimes common society as we know it today may one day depend on that crucial necessity of caution. Because if we keep on allowing that, anybody, look at it, you are talking about reason of sanity. They say, tell us this one, you take it, and then you publish it. Have you verified, have you confirmed actually that telling the truth? So that's my concern. Like I keep on saying, our empathy, most of our intervention, we're doing for national development, we're doing for our physical coexistence, and that is it. So that's my belief in it. But there are a lot of fake news. Look at some of the images you have shown. Look at the video you have shown. A lot of them were fake news. And some people try to justify some of this. This is my take in this. And some believe that the media and civil society need to do more when it comes to fact-checking before they publish some of their reports.
Okay, we thank you very much for such analysis. We'll be coming to an end.
Dan, let me ask one last question.
Any other contributor before we leave?
Yes, Dan, can you hear me?
Yes, I cannot, sorry, before I cannot see Alwan. I think he will send me a message. No, he's not there. All right. Okay, Mr. Eluchie, please.
Yeah.
Okay, who is speaking? Sorry.
Yeah, I am Getsame.
Oh, okay, Prof. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like the journalists there to really take a critical look at the question I just posted. In every civilized country, when there is protest, there are police around. The information here was that the protesters chased away the police. And so the military was needed for law and order. I don't know whether there's any society in the world that just allows anarchy to just reign uncontrolled. Anytime there is a protest anywhere in the world, even if there are children, there are law enforcement agents around. I think one important thing, lesson from this experience is maybe if there are going to be protests, the protesters should invite the police to assist in ensuring that there is a peaceful protest and there are no anarchists involved.
Okay, we thank
you. Okay, Prof, I might just want to respond to that. I'm sorry, and then I will also want to ask you: do you have a verifiable evidence that the police were there and they were chased away, or is it just hearsay?
Oh, of course, that it was in the news. Maybe fake.
Which news?
They said, of course, the news was going around in the social media. I belong to
the same social media, right?
All right. All right. Good evening.
No. This is actually the statement by the police, by the Nigerian army on the same issue. They say that from the onset of the ENSA protest, there was no time personnel of the Nigerian army were involved in any of the protests. But however, when the decision to call the meeting was taken by Lagos State government, who after imposing the curfew, they invited the military. And what did the military say here in their statement? They say that this was as a result of the violence which led to several police stations being burned. We have seen them. Several policemen were killed. We have seen them. And suspects in police custody released, and weapons were scattered away. That is, armory were looted. This is the reason why
let me make a little clarification there.
Was that before or after the
exactly.
Lekki shooting?
Now he's telling lies.
Was that before or after the Lekki shooting?
Why they were deployed to the place. That is the reason why the Nigerian army were deployed based on the indication of...
Shuaib, you are lying.
No,
you are telling lies.
No, don't say he's lying.
No, he's telling lies.
No,
let us be factual. There's no look. Let's not
listen. Wait. He quoted.
Excuse me. Can I intervene here?
Like he quoted.
No. He
the first time.
Dan. Remember that the first time we have said that the Nigerian military has been lying all through, so they are not even credible. And I'm not going to.
No, we have not said that. You said that.
Okay. Did the Nigerian military lie in all of this? Can I ask you a yes or no question?
Let's listen to Kello.
No, you can't ask me a yes or no question.
Why?
Mr. Elomba, please, can I have the opportunity to round up?
I think
I have not spoken. I only ask questions.
People again.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. The first time I intervened, it was to ask questions, and that could lead somewhere. First of all, let me stop and thank Madam Ankyo Briggs for putting some analysis to this. I was taken in by that. She was talking about two different kinds of people, one who wants to force the narrative and one who wants to disprove it. I want to think there's a third group, and that is probably the group I belong to, and we shouldn't be marginalized. I belong to that majority of Nigerians who simply want to know the truth. That majority of Nigerians, when this news broke out, that people were being massacred, to borrow that word, we were scandalized, we were angry. The next day, when all of them, all the accounts were beginning to be discountenanced, then we became angry on the opposite side. So this majority group of Nigerians are looking for factual information and to put events according to proportion. We should, as much as possible, run away from the judgment that we have seen this night. There's too much judgment as to who is lying or who is not lying. Now, let me start from where I intervened the first time. I asked a question. I am extremely worried that while we are yet analyzing reports and citing shanties close to the Lekki toll gate, there was somebody who was in the midst of all these events as a primary witness. And 2 weeks down the line, and 10 days after the panel was set up, that person has not considered sending in a report, but is still planning for that in future. I find that very troubling. Now, having said that, I want to very quickly pick out a few of the judgments and dispel them. You cannot say an institution is lying. An institution may have the responsibility to kill tension. And the people who are in public relation or in otherwise public administration understand this. Now, what you say at the spur of the moment is different from what you say 24 hours down the line when there's proper articulation and so we should exercise restraint when we address matters like this. I am not taken in by this. I will encourage individuals to take their reports to the panel. I heard a contributor talk about whether the panel can be relied on. Well, we cannot promote anarchy. Government is the government. Government owned up that they invited, but never owned up that they asked anybody to kill. Therefore, what is being investigated is what happened in Tollgate, which is not the seat of government. Instead, it is partially the seat of government revenue taken over by protesters who had been wrongly described as peaceful. Now, Premium Times use an adjective, peaceful protesters. I have every reason to quarrel with that because they are giving a secondary report. They are not in a position to tell what happened there. You do not chase away policemen with ordinary arms or ordinary fingers or hands to begin to take revenue that should go to Lagos State in a particular location, which I believe is the reason why we are talking about Lekki and not anywhere else in Lagos. So my submission will be, let us give the panel a chance, let us get at some truths, and let us take proper steps to regulate the social media, because we can't avoid that. Every medium should be regulated, and no one who has confidence in the kind of information is putting out to be the truth should be afraid of such regulation, because the radio is regulated, the newspapers are regulated, everybody, but people must take responsibility, because my submission is that it is that false information that led to the burning down of Lagos. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good talk. That is
We
very
are
good.
going to regulate. Are we going to regulate the government to when else? Can you let me know? So you are regulating everybody. Who will regulate the government?
The government is regulated by the legislature and the judiciary.
Who will regulate the legislature?
The executive.
So the citizens, we're still back to the same thing. You are here saying that the social media was lying, and all of us are here. We are living witness to the lies of the military. We are living witness to the lies and denial of the government. And you are saying it's acceptable, but to you, you cannot accept it when the citizens lies, but you can accept it when the government lies.
I think.
Hello.
I think my concluding thought here, people, is
Yes, okay.
very simple.
Yes. Concluding thought.
Like the OK said, that you know, it's the violence that made, you know, that spiraled out of control. And my concluding thought is, what we saw wouldn't have happened. The burnings that happened across Nigeria was as a direct result of government involvement and the shooting in Lekki. If the army did not go to Lekki, Lekki would have woken up the way they've been staying there. And let us please get something right. Lekki happened because even the army broke the law. The curfew was 9 o'clock. The curfew was 9 o'clock. So for anyone saying the army went there too, if it happened around 10, it would have been a different thing. The governor said, okay, 4 o'clock, he got called that 4 o'clock was not visible. He moved it to 9. So why did they go there after 6? There is ample of time. So, and to say that that was violent, well, suddenly that same night was the only night that a people that have been there for 2 weeks shown calmness, shown that they're able to manage something, that even when they drink, even when they litter the whole place, they sweep them. They carry their mess and do it right. I think, honestly, here is a lesson for every single Nigerian, all of us here, irrespective of which divide you belong to. The same thing applies to the government. I believe we can learn a lesson from this. We also, even in Abuja, where security vehicles were used to convey people. Someone said here that the police were chased away. Yet we saw in Alausa where BRT bus was used in conveying people coming down from that with clubbers, with sticks, and police standing by with machetes. Okay, so ask yourself if police was actually there to protect. Police actually knew who the peaceful protesters were and who those that came to foment trouble were. So if not, that if the government didn't come in to cause mayhem, just to basically say that these people are not peaceful, if government did what governments do all over the world, as insinuated by Professor Joseph here, if government did what they do in America, that when peaceful protesters are protesting, you give them police protection. But that didn't happen. Rather, we saw cars vandalized in Abuja and all the rest. And eventually, sadly, businesses were lost. And that is honestly a very sad one. But I believe out of this madness that Nigeria and even the citizens must have learned one or two things, that next time things should be done differently. Thank you very much on that note.
All right, we thank you very much. Before we finally leave tonight, I need to show this picture we received today again, and then Shuaib, we will invite you a comment and then we call it a day. Unless Mr. Nomach Chido would like to comment on it. Otherwise, let me simply show this and then let's see. This is what we received today. Have anybody been able to verify this man? His name is Tony, a graduate of business admin, one of the, well, supposed victims of Lekki massacre, because we don't know. They said he was buried today. Anybody?
So can you, sorry, hold on. Can you expand the casket? No, the other one.
Yeah, let me minimize this and then. All right, so.
No, the casket, the casket.
Yeah, the casket. Okay, let me go back. This one.
You just need to see what was written on it.
24 years of a friend, colleague, cosmate. No.
I don't know.
He was actually one of the allegedly killed victim of the massacre, but it was not true. He died in road accident.
Exactly. So because this guy, I think I've seen this picture being discredited before.
Yes. Yes.
I've seen this picture. I think it's the one someone in London claimed that is the mom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the one. It's the one. Yes.
Exactly. So
where she claimed. Yes.
I think that chap, if the information is, if my brain serves me right, I think the information I got is that he died in a car accident.
Well, on this note, yes, Shuaib?
It was not an accident.
Okay, all right. Gentlemen, I think we really have a problem in our hands in Nigeria. 2 weeks after this incident, is it 2 weeks now? We still haven't made. It's a shame, really, because when I saw another thing I want to say about this Lagos judicial panel that visited the Army Military Hospital yesterday, am I the only one who found it very, very funny? Because if I'm the military and you stood at the gate, if I want to hide anything, I wouldn't allow you in. Why would this be a judicial panel of inquiry that will visit a military hospital? What about targeted investigation by the investigation agencies? And we saw,
by the way, to support your claim, when they went, they were shown a newly constructed
an empty building. Exactly.
They had nothing. So
yes.
I mean, honestly, it was. I saw it. I felt like it was a joke.
It's a joke. It's a drama. It's a drama. So, what do we do about our country when this type of thing happens? For us to actually know the truth, I will now unmute everyone. I think it's been a very, very interesting conversation. And hopefully, so our hope now rests on the Lagos Judicial Panel.
I hope does not rest there.
Sorry?
Where does